Hey guys, and welcome back. Sadly, we're nearing the end of the guides, but hopefully you've enjoyed the journey with me so far, and hopefully I've left you with some good, great Trove modding knowledge up in your noggin. The good stuff. But we're up to the last few parts, so let's just keep chugging through this, and hopefully you could publish something really great. And on that note, we are going to look at preparing everything we need to get you ready to publish your mod. And for this, we are going to get some images and get ready to publish your TMOD. So let's do that. So I went back and fixed the leg. We're all good on that front now, so we're looking nice. So let's just go over somewhere nice where we can take a nice picture. So the great thing about sort of publishing a mod is you can put in as much or as little effort as you want. It's all up to your imagination, but please keep in mind that the fancier and the more effort put into showing off, the better. So now what I use is basically just snipping tool, do this. What we want the main focus on the body, so let's just do that. That'll be great. Save as. This is like the bare minimum. You just need a few pictures, the front, the back, the side, maybe a UI image. You can do all this image stuff in like Photoshop and go as fancy and as detailed as you want. There's a lot of advanced ways to render our creations in Cubicle and produce really good images of that with like nice light rendering. They're not in game, so they won't have any sort of the Trove-ish details, but it's still really nice and really fancy. Since this is a basic guide, we're just going to keep it simple. Let's just go for live, and let's just put everything in the QB exports. So let's just go costumes, Neon Ninja Tutorial Project version 1. Let's just go with pictures, and let's just go front. Let's turn around. Let's get a better image of that. Let's go there. Let's get the back. Let's file. Save as. Let's just call it the back. And then for the UI, what I usually do is I go right into this, and I move these sort of way. Come over here and just sort of move it off the grid. You can turn off the grid. I'll actually do that. It seems a bit smarter to show you those options. So everyone remembers the view options. We'll just go here. We'll turn off the ground. We'll come to here. We'll go to the work area. We'll turn off the bounding boxes, which is the work boxes. And we'll just come over here and just take a picture. And this is the absolute minimum of the absolute minimum. This is like, this is like the bare minimum effort that you need. But I never really liked messing around with pictures. It's just my style. You can go as again, fancy as you want. You can look into more advanced ways to produce nice UI pictures and just nice pictures overall. If you've got a nice photo, shoot area in Trove with a green screen or something green screen-like, go for it. But here we'll just save it and call it UI. Why we need the UI picture, the UI is basically a fancy way of saying when they mouse over my mod in the mod manager, it'll show this picture, and it's basically an easy way of just showing them this is the skin mod if they aren't reading for some reason. But that's great, and I'll just turn on my settings so I don't forget. So it is bounding boxes and ground, and then just bring these back. So what we want to do next is go to our Trove tools. Back to here. There is a reason we installed this. Go to Modders Tools. As you remember, there's the Build TMOD section. So what we want to do is finally build our TMOD. So we want to have a title, a fancy title. For now we're just going to call it Tutorial Neon Ninja V1. The preview, we can use the UI for that. So if we go to live, go to QB export, Trove, costumes, you've seen this a million times by now. Let's go to pictures and let's just use the UI. So the author is Potato Unicorn, that's my name. I know. And for notes, I usually just say replaces items. So replaces level 10 neon ninja costume, and just put a full stop there. And right off the bat of making our notes, we want to add the files. So adding the files is pretty easy. Just go to add files over here. You can remove the files and then remove all the files, but you don't really want to do that. So what we need is the actual blueprint files, and the blueprint files that we need is in the override folder. So if we go here, go to the override folder as per usual. I have a few more blueprints in here because I've been working on some stuff, but basically we just scroll down. For you, you won't have to, but going on to the Neo Ninja stuff we have, and just, you can shift click like I usually do, just go down to the bottom Neon Ninja and then just open them. And basically what that does is just puts them all in here. You can click on them that you want, you can control click to select multiple ones, but you can click on them, you can remove the files, and then just remove all that. Also removes the UI image, just be careful of that, so it's better to remove them singularly. And we want to add a tag to our mod, so we just scroll down. We have a class tag, obviously, because it's a Neon Ninja. There's a biome tag and a type tag, but the type tag is only for sort of unique stuff that's not costumes and all that. Oh, no, there is a costume. I lied, I'm sorry. But we want our costume, and we want to go to Neon Ninja. Beautiful. It's not biome related, so we'll just skip that. And with all of that done, all we have to do is build a TMOD, and then it'll tell you it'll successfully build a TMOD if it does. If not, it'll say, you know, unsuccessfully built TMOD or error, or just it won't say this. And you've got to be careful because you have to use the blueprint and not the QB files. So keep that in mind. And you'll basically, if we go to our live folder, so just the Trove main live folder, you will see that if it worked, you will go into your mods folder, and tutorial Neon Ninja version 1 TMOD has been successfully created in our mods folder. If you get an error, it will not output this into the TMOD folder, but it has, so it's worked, and now you can see it in game. You can get rid of the override folders that you have been, override files that you've been using, and you can just use the TMOD as is. So hopefully that all worked for you guys and no errors came up. If you just use the UI or the image that you want to and the correct blueprint files, as you know, the material maps are in the blueprint files when you convert them, so there shouldn't be an issue there. But go in game, get rid of, move the override folders into sort of like a backup folder in your modding files that we made earlier on, just as a backup. That's always a good idea to do. And just make sure, log in and check that everything worked. That's the best way, that's the best thing to do before you publish it in any sort of capacity. Just check, make sure that everything works. Just to sort of give you a quick show. So there it is. We've removed it from the override, so it's still there and it's still working just fine. As you can see, the material maps are still on it. It's shiny, it's glowing, and the other part that we set to not glow isn't glowing. And if we go into here and we go into the mods, look at that. There's our UI picture, and there's the notes, there's the author of our name, and we can enable it and disable it at will. So great. Thanks for following along, guys. I'll see you on the next part. Have a great one.